Yo, so the Boruto Chapter 24 sneak peek has just been released, and boy oh boy, is there literally nothing to talk about, to be honest. When I was thinking to myself the other day, I wonder what the sneak peek will be for Boruto. I did realize to myself, like, literally every sneak peek released in this series thus far, there won't be any big reveals, nothing really hinting towards anything, but if there was action in that chapter, it will probably highlight a bit of the action that was about to go down. Last month, it was Boruto using purple lightning against Jura, which was, mind you, the biggest clickbait of all time. That shit had me out here stressing, thinking maybe Boruto had found a counter to Jura. But nah, it just turned out to be another one of Boruto's many attacks that just did nothing to Jura. And well, the sneak peek this month is no different. There is obviously some things to talk about which are a little bit interesting, which I'll definitely go over in this video, but for the most part, there really isn't anything interesting going on here besides what we expected of this chapter, which is just straight hands between Kawaki and Jura. So basically, the entire sneak peek is Kawaki on the offensive against Jura, obviously with his karma activated, which we saw him use at the end of last chapter, as Kawaki hits Jura's hand away from him with his rod, and then Kawaki readjusts and lunges the rod through the stomach or abdomen of Jura. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Alright, I'll do a little bit of analysis, but honestly, I don't know whether I can keep doing these bloody videos on sneak peeks, as I feel like I'm literally grasping at straws from nearby universes at this point. I tend to make 25-minute chapter reviews on 40 pages worth of manga, so honestly, I have no idea how I managed to make 8-minute videos on just about one page, but here we go again. So first of all, quickly, not sure how important this will be, but the karma markings on Kawaki seem to have altered since the last time he used it, with a spike coming out horizontally from the side of his forehead, and also there seems to be a lot more curvature on the markings on his arm. Again, not sure how important this is going to be, and it might just be the writer's way of signifying the new form of Kawaki, but just something I wanted to point out. So yeah, as I just said, Kawaki is on the offensive against Jura, clearly landing a pretty substantial blow against him. Obviously not enough to put Jura out of commission. Jura lost a limb earlier and was still able to give Boruto that ass whooping, but it definitely shows us that as of right now, Kawaki has the upper hand in this battle, which to be honest, I was expecting to be the case, as I am a firm believer that as of right now, Kawaki will be designed to be stronger than Jura. Not to the point where he kills Jura, but to the point where Jura is forced to retreat from the battlefield, which will then lead Jura to have to make a decision on who is more important to kill in this scenario, since he needs to keep one of these two alive in order to feed them to the 10 tails to cultivate a tree. But at the same time, if Kawaki is stronger than Jura now, does he pose more of a threat than the information that Boruto has access to? Just a bit of a decision that I'm sure Jura will have to make at some point. Also, on top of this, with the way Jura's character has been designed, it heavily implies to me that his thirst for knowledge and to grow intellectually, he will definitely have the ability to grow in power tremendously as well, making it as well a race against time to defeat Jura, which will then accelerate the process of Boruto having to train harder to reach the level of Kawaki and Jura, which is why I go so heavy on the idea that the next arc of Boruto will be a training arc where all the people who have awakened new powers, but perhaps aren't quite proficient in using these powers, will train to master this new ability or awakening. Regardless, with Kawaki potentially being stronger than Jura here, it means that Jura will be in a position where he needs to grow in strength. Also, he will most likely take steps in order to expand his Shinju army, which may lead on to the next arc where people are eaten by trees and turned into Shinju, which ends up motivating more and more people to get involved in this battle against Jura, which will lead Shikamaru to make a decision that everyone has to train together in order to grow stronger, as they need to combat these new Shinju. For example, if someone like Chocho got turned into a tree, which I think is genuinely really likely, as I think a fat ass Shinju could be really funny to see, especially with their main goal to be to devour people. But on a serious note, it's clear that Himawari and Chocho are really close, maybe even best friends after the time skip, which means if Chocho gets eaten trying to protect Himawari, Himawari will then take matters into her own hands, wanting to train to improve her use of Kurama's powers. So just an example of how someone turning into a Shinju will motivate someone else in order to train to use their powers more effectively. So yeah, Kawaki winning this battle, although slightly shocking to imagine being so this guy was literally one tap the last time they faced off, does make sense going forward in the story. But I do also want to mention another possibility, which is Jura turning the tables of this fight by unleashing his true power. Against Himawari, he stated that her levels of strength made him want to unleash his true power, but in his fight against Boruto, he never explicitly stated that he was going to use this quote-unquote real power. Either means that his real power is just him going all out, which is what he did against Boruto rather than playing around with his food like he did with Himawari, or it could be something different that he's yet to use since he didn't deem it necessary against Boruto, which could mean he has another ace up his sleeve which he is yet to uncover that could turn the cards in his favour. But I think the by far more likely option that throws a spanner in the works here, since this battle is heavily in Kawaki's favour, as in manga and the Boruto series, when shit looks to be going too well, there will always be that one motherfucker who wants to turn it on his head, which of course will be Momoshiki. I think if Kawaki is winning as convincingly as it looks like he is doing right now in the sneak peek, then Momoshiki's arrival looks even more imminent to slightly make Kawaki's job a little harder. Although it's unclear what side Momoshiki will take, as Jura doesn't necessarily align with his goals, as Jura does definitely get in the way of Momoshiki's plans of cultivating a tree from this planet. Kawaki also won't like the fact that Momoshiki has taken over Boruto's body, meaning that he will be faced with the decision on who to target, which could cause him to lose concentration, giving Jura an opening which, because Kawaki's defense stat is so low now, could very much turn the course of this battle, which will then mean that Kawaki no longer has the upper hand and could cause Kawaki and Momoshiki to even team up, as I'm sure Momoshiki won't be siding with Jura and will likely be taking a more neutral standpoint like he did in the battle against Code and Kawaki, just trying to do his best to cause mayhem by getting rid of both of them. But that is about all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then make sure to like the video just to let me know that you guys are enjoying the content at the moment. And I don't know whether you guys end up seeing my video on the future of TF anime, but I want to start steering away from doing purely Boruto videos by doing other chapter reviews like Gachukuta, maybe Kagurabachi, maybe even One Piece, and also doing videos like anime reviews, and just doing a little bit more funny or kind of personality based videos, as I feel as of right now I'm a little bit stagnant on just doing Boruto videos. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, make sure to subscribe, as YouTube will end up recommending you my videos regardless of whether they're Boruto or not that way. And also comment down below if you want to see any particular video, any particular series covering on this channel, as I need video ideas from you guys, as that will be the content that you actually want to see. But with that all said, I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.